My sister wants to sleep with my husband. My sister wants to sleep with my husband. What comes out is so much worse. My husband M39 and I F32 had our first baby a little more than a year ago. My husband is working remotely and earns enough money for me to be able to extend my maternity leave. He also suggested that I could stay home as long as we do not rely on both of us having an income. I realize that we are in a very privileged position here, something my sister frowned upon. My sister recently came to visit. The three of us were sitting on the couch watching a movie when she suddenly asked what we thought of polygamy. I have no idea how she came up with this topic, but my husband replied that we both chose to be monogamous. However, we respect it when other couples choose a different lifestyle. My sister seemed a bit disappointed, so I asked her what was going on. She said that she had hoped that we would be open to open our marriage because she would like to have intimacy with my husband. I was shocked, and my husband grimaced in disgust. We paused the film and looked at her in shock. I couldn't say anything at that moment because my husband got up and told my sister to please leave our house. At that moment, our child started screaming, so I rushed into the children's room. My sister left our house without another word, and my husband stood in the kitchen making himself a drink. I found what she had said more than repulsive. I wondered how she came up with that. After I fed our child, I saw him scowling in the kitchen and asked him what was the matter. I never would have guessed what he said next. He told me that my sister had been trying to get him to sleep with her for many years. However, he had repeatedly refused and even had to physically defend himself against her, especially when I was pregnant. She had been very aggressive and nearly stalked him to get his attention and convince him to have intimacy with her. He described various events to me, such as barbecue parties at my parents' house where she tried to corner him in the pantry, or the time we took her to the swimming pool. My sister has always had trouble attracting men even though she's actually pretty and has a good job. I was just speechless. My husband then told me that he was now worried that she would run around telling lies because not only had he rejected her, but I knew about it. He had heard that she had already threatened one of his friends to report him for abuse. That was also the reason why nobody in our circle wanted to have anything to do with her. I assured him that if she tried anything, I would have his back. The first calls came the very next day. Our parents called and asked if I was okay because they had heard from my sister that my husband cheated on me with her. I told them what really happened, which first surprised and angered them. I had the same conversation with one or the other of our friends and acquaintances. I was touched that everyone wanted to help me in such a case, assuming I'd left behind as a single mom, but that was obviously not necessary. I finally wrote my sister a text to stay away from our friends, and if she kept telling lies like that, I would try to sue her for character defamation. So far, she has not replied to my messages. I'm really more than fed up with this woman. What would you do in this case?